Hello everybody, welcome to the Magi Show. Today I'm really excited because I got a new special guest lined up for the show tonight. His name is Robert, and he's the host of a M&R TV show out of Montreal. So I guess it's an important show when I got a page of notes here and everything ready to go. Yeah, I guess first things first, mention what the show is going to be about. Me and Robert are going to discuss some mind control stuff he's been working on at a Montreal asylum, or he's been investigating it, and we're going to look at some UFO footage that he took, an investigation that was done by MUFON on it, some orbs that he also got in footage there, and then I'm also going to mention the connections to ancient mind control. If anyone's interested in that, definitely stay tuned for the end of the show. And there's some connections of what it even means today, so it's really an important conversation. I'm glad Robert could make it. Yeah, we're going to discuss the idea that some of these mind control methods might even be used for false flag operations. I know that's a really controversial subject, but we're still going to talk about it anyways here on the show. Just going to close a couple of the windows I got going because looks like I was dropping a little bit of frames there. See what else I can close. Yeah, it might be because I'm running Skype, but well, we'll go ahead with it as planned. If anyone's watching in the show chat and they want to post a message about how it's recording, if there's any big issues, maybe you could post it there, and I'll see if I can resolve it on the fly. But I guess the show must go on here. We'll get her started. First, I'll go into Robert's introduction so that everyone can get an idea of who Robert is and what he does. There we are. Alright, as I mentioned before, Robert's the host of the M&R TV show out of Montreal. It was one of the first shows, well, the first show I actually got to be a guest on. So I really appreciate for him having me on the show. That was really awesome. Yeah, and he's just about one of the coolest guys I know. I talk to him on Facebook pretty often, and even outside of the conspiracy community, he gets involved in some pretty wild stuff, I guess. Yeah, and I should also mention Mario. He's the co-host of the M&R TV show, so if anyone wants to watch the show, don't forget that Mario is also a big help with that. He looks after all the technical stuff and helps out with monitoring the chat. So that's a picture of Mario there. Yeah, and Robert's show is amazing. He has some of the best guests that you'll see from coast to coast, like L.A. Marzulli. Karen Hudas, the World Bank whistleblower, he had her on the show. Man, she was one of my favorite guests. She talked all about the different conspiracies and the Illuminati connections to the gold and all that, and definitely recommend checking out the M&R TV archives for that show. Oh yeah, and Fritz too. Fritz is a really cool guy. He's one of the people that does conspiracy work. I think even Bin Laden, when his place got raided, they found one of Fritz's books on his bookshelf, so I don't know if that's such a good thing to put on your resume, but pretty impressive nonetheless. Yeah, and he's also had on Zion Zeta. She's like one of the younger people talking about, I guess, military operations and, yeah, UFO stuff or connecting the stars. Yeah, her show is really cool. If you go into the archive for M&R Productions, highly recommend that show also. Yeah, so I guess that's about all for Robert's introduction. I guess I'll ask him a few more questions about some of the stuff from M&R TV just to start off, and I'll try connecting with him now. Alright, let's see if I can reach Robert. So I'll leave the music play just until we can reach him. Alright, so I guess the first question I want to ask is how long have you been doing M&R TV for now? I guess it's been quite a few years, sir.
Well, we've been doing it since, let me see now, February 2011, I believe.
Wow. Yeah, so that is a long time.
Yeah, we've been doing it like for 5 years, whatever, and now we decided to take a break because there's a lot of other stuff I have to take care of. I mean, it's very time-consuming, promotion, getting the guests when it doesn't work, and then we got censored a lot because we had like a lot of guests on Pizzagate, and that's what happened when we did Pizzagate. We got a lot of flack and a lot of problems because of it. That and UFOs.
Yeah.
When we started on the Dulce base.
Yeah, it's weird how it's like all your guys' research that you were talking about on the show seemed to come to fruition. Like everything you mentioned about the corrupt stuff going on in Hollywood, it's like all that went mainstream now, right? You must kind of feel vindicated in a way.
Well, not really, because the thing is, we find that most people now don't even listen to what we have to say anymore.
Yeah.
It's as if like I'll post a picture up on Facebook of me drinking some Jack Daniels. And it'll get like hits and hits and hits. I'll post something about conspiracies, aliens, Donald Trump, anything. I'll be lucky if I get two hits, So I don't know what the heck's going on, but I found it back in 2012. That's when the conspiracies was at its height with Alex Jones, Mark Dice, Jesse Ventura, David Icke. Now I find everything plummeted.
Yeah. No, it seems like I'm checking the stream health on our show here, and it's gone into the yellow, so I think it's probably best we switch to Facebook. Do you want to just go into the Facebook Messenger there and click video call? I think that'll do the trick.
So I'll have to hang up on Skype.
Yeah, we'll try hanging up on Skype and see how that works, because I don't want it to drop a whole bunch of frames for the show, right?
Okay, so I'll just end the call here and call you on video chat. Okay.
All right. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that we were going to be talking about some government conspiracies on this show. Jeez.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah. I mean, government conspiracies, cover-ups, UFOs, and I mentioned the magic word adult base.
Yeah. No, I was just going to ask how your summer went. I guess you had some bad times with your cousin there, and he made it onto the...
Oh, yeah.
With his heart. Man, my uncle had the same thing going on with his heart. Well, I guess in a lot lesser of an extent, but he seems to be doing better. I was just going to tell you, it was like, it turned out it was like I was supposed to do a show on the Men in Black just before that all happened with my uncle. So it's like, holy, makes me wonder if it was a coincidence or what.
Yeah, well, the thing is, that's why Mario and myself, we stopped like doing shows because there's always like this weird stuff going on, elements, and what happens this week, I hurt my back out of nowhere.
Jeez.
And I think we had decided, like you said, you want to do the show, and I said, okay, let's do it, because I don't know, maybe something will happen, maybe nothing will happen. Yeah. And then I just come to lift a box, and just come to, and already I'm saying, is it because of the show?
Yeah. No, I try not to jump to the conspiracy conclusion, but sometimes it really makes you wonder when it all lines up and like just like that. Jeez.
Exactly.
All right, so I guess maybe to start the show off, I was thinking we could go through some of your slides that I got ready.
Okay, let me just see. How come I can't see them though?
Yeah, I'll be able to put them on the screen. I just got to minimize you to the corner here so that there's room for them.
Okay, all right, okay.
All right, that should be enough to see them. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, it's got double the video going.
Let me tell you something, Lamont. There's people around here that don't want me to do the show. They're calling me to give me grief. I won't say the names of the people because I'm not like that. But there's people giving me grief as I'm doing the show now. So maybe there's some bad energy here. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was going to talk about a bunch of controversial stuff, but I think maybe I'll leave it for the next show and just move on to your stuff because we've already lost so much time at the beginning there.
well, now the thing is now we're getting some people.
Yeah. All right, so the first slide that I brought up was just the name of the hospital. I guess it's called Louis Lafontaine.
Louis Lafontaine. Before that, it was called the Saint-Jean-de-Dieu Hospital.
Okay.
It's near my house, and the thing is, what got me interested was because back in the day I used to drive by. You see the main hospital there where the cars are. If you back up a little, there's like a main highway, and I would always be going around I would always be driving around, and my dad said, if you don't behave, you're going to end up in the hospital. You're going to end up in the hospital. I'm going to put you there. And I was like, what kind of hospital is this, man? What's going on here? You know? And then I found out it's an insane asylum, you know? And I found out that it's, okay, what is that? And they told me that building, or the whole place, the tower, if you see the whole place, is really an asylum, but that main building, if you see the first building, right here, no, go down. Yeah. More down. Yeah, right here, right there, bing. No, wait, go, no, not that, not the small one, the big one.
This one here?
Yeah, that whole thing, that is the worst floor. I mean, that is the worst building, and, I heard that the top floors are the worst. Anyhow, so I just left like that. Then, when I became 18 years old, 1988, I started going there. I went there once with one of my friends, and I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know where to go. Anyhow, we managed to go there, and we went around the second, third floor. We just saw like old people, but nothing out of the ordinary. I said, my God, I'm in an institution. There's nothing going on. Okay. So then me and my friend, we decided to go through the back staircase to the 10th floor.
Yeah, maybe I should go to the next slide.
Yeah.
There was a map of the place I got here.
Yeah, that's the map I took up with my friend Angelica. We took a map there, and also I had done a show. I mean, I had done an M&R video here with Mario, but Mario does not want to talk about mental institutions. That I must add, he does not like it. And I could understand why.
No, but I was gonna mention that at the beginning of the show. It's like there's some subjects that are just too far-fetched for people to talk about, and this definitely seems like one of them, right?
I guess, yeah. I guess it says taboo. I don't know what my taboo is. Like, I get uncomfortable when we talk about Pizzagate and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
But this had to be this is you know, it's Pizzagate is one thing. This is, to me, I'm more open to this than Pizzagate, because Pizzagate is too much, you know, it's too heavy for me, you know? Yeah. Anyhow, yes. Now...
Oh, we just got a message from someone in the chat.
What did they say?
It looks like it's Rosanna, and she says that hope Robert isn't giving you a hard time.
No, I'm not giving a hard time, not at all. We just had a hard time getting on the show.
Yeah, three times was the charm to get the show going, it seemed, right?
Exactly, but yeah, when I do the M&R TV show, we also have problems like this.
Yeah. Now, I was looking at this picture you got here in the slides. Is that one of the nurses that's there in the wing?
That's not a nurse. That's how do you say it? A patient.
Wow. Yeah, it looks like it's almost something out of a horror movie or something.
Exactly. And they always have those damn bloody green doors. Those things haunted me. Like I said, when I went on the top floor back in 1988, they freshly painted it, but it was green. The door was green. Yeah. And I went up there, the 10th floor. We tried to open the door, but we couldn't. So I go, okay, but then we heard insane screams, like like that, like really horror. I'm like, we're trying to look in, we can't see anything. We look in the window, we can't see anything. We froze there, and I go, oh my God, we kept hearing all kinds of insane screams. We went down 10 flights of stairs so fast, but I had told my friend, we have to do it slowly. We had to go, we can't go boom, 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 because if we go like that, what's gonna happen? We're gonna get caught. We're gonna get caught, who knows, God knows what.
Blow your cover, so to speak, yeah.
So we went down the stairs, scared out of our mind. We're like out of breath. And we're just like on the street, and I told my friend, I go, well, I don't know what the hell's going on down there, but let's just forget about it. And in those days, I was crazy, you know?
Yeah, when you're younger, it's like you feel invincible, right?
Right, yeah, and I didn't want to go back. And then nothing happened for 30 years. No, less than 30 years, because we're 2018, maybe a year and a half ago, someone started talking about MK Ultra.
Yeah.
MK Ultra, and then they said, just do a show on that. And I said, sure, okay, I'll do a show on that. But then I did research, boom, boom, boom. What comes up? This freaking hospital. Not only this hospital, but also the Allen Memorial McGill Hospital, where Dr. Ewan McCarran or whatever, can't forget his name now. He did terrible experiments on patients there. But this hospital came back because in this hospital there was a lot of bad stuff that happened. So this slide you see here was taken when I went September 4th by myself as I was leaving the hospital.
It's like all the signs are in French there, I guess, too. Right?
Yeah, all the signs are in French, and the first one is where I always go, Janin Lepeur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I took a lot of French classes in school, but there were some really good-looking girls in the class, and I think my attention was all on them because I managed to fail the class every time. I got to really try harder on it, though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is the top floor.
Yeah.
The insane asylum. I managed to get in there about a fraction of a second, and if you see the picture there, level 10. The other picture is inside, but somebody was coming, and it was blurry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it looks pretty trippy or something.
No, it was blurry because I was alone. I was alone, man. I was like the heart was pumping, and I said, what the F am I doing here on the top floor, right there?
No, you know? That's pretty intense. That's for sure. Oh yeah, here's the picture of the 10th floor, right?
Yeah, and that is the most horrible place around. I mean, I've done research. I've heard. I hope your viewers can stand this. It smells of feces and urine.
Jeez, not a nice place to work, I bet either, though. Yeah.
No, and because I did research and I had found that people like they did what do you call it reviews about this freaking hospital.
Yeah. I think you gave me a video link about what is it on YouTube? There was a show about the top 10 worst hospitals, and this one made the list, I guess.
Yes, this one made the list, and it was like the American Horror Story, the asylum.
Yeah. All right, so maybe once we're done the slides here, we'll take a little look at that clip, and hopefully it doesn't crash the show.
No. Okay, that's I can't see this. Does it say a number?
Important risk.
Yeah, it says not to leave the door open.
Oh.
Because it's locked. It's locked. Like I can't get in.
Wow.
But it says like if people that come out from the other side not to leave it because patients could escape. Now floor number 1 to floor number 3, you're able to go in. There's elevators. The elevator stops at 4, and one time I went to elevator 4, and the lady comes. She goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm trying to go number 10." She goes, "I'm sorry, you can't go in there. You can't go to the 10th floor." And she was looking at me. I'm like, "Okay, all right." And I just left, and I snuck in. Now, yes, this is when I went with my friend Angelica, right here, and Nick, and we took a picture right here. This is the floor, and the 5th floor. If you could count up to 5, someone in 2013 committed suicide.
Brutal.
They jumped off the building from number 5.
Yeah, it's actually what I was going to talk about at the beginning of the show. One of my friends committed suicide too. It's a horrible thing to happen, right?
I'm sorry to hear. Sorry to hear that. It's horrible. Yeah. I can't imagine. I mean, I've had friends that tried to commit suicide. Yeah. Here I am here. I got a picture taken, and there you see the tower. The tower of torture.
Jeez.
And I met someone from my high school that got in contact with me last September, and we were always friends on Facebook, and she says, "Yeah, I'm contacting you because I want to meet you. So I said, "Fine, I'll go meet her." We met up, and it happened that she was, and her father was a patient in there.
Holy cow.
And she told me in that hospital, they put her there in that tower, and it was all prisoners and insane people. Jeez. About maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, even this tower, it looks like a medieval style tower or something, yeah? I'm surprised they built it to look like that.
Exactly. We tried to get in there, myself and Angelica, and it was locked. But then we see an employee go up there, you know? We see him go. We don't know. And I don't know if what's still functioning there. There must be something in that tower, because when we went there, It was quiet and everything. They had prisoners and the insane people. And she was locked in there. And it was very scary. There was insane people and criminals. So, you know, I told her what's worse. And she told me the criminals were worse than the insane people, because sometimes the insane people were just talking to themselves, mumbling, if they were not violent. But the criminals, they could try and do something.
Yeah. Well, we just got another question from the viewers, or I guess it's Rosanna. She was asking about what's on the top floor.
Oh, on the top floor? Well, the top floor, it's the, I've how can I say this? I've talked to someone who worked there, who was a patient there, and he told me the top floor is the most chronic people. He told me chronic mental patients that are up there that have schizophrenia and bipolar, and most of all they have like debilitating diseases, like to the level that they can be rehabilitated. They're probably chained up or maybe locked up in that floor. I haven't seen it. Like, I just saw a picture of it. Like, when the door opened, I just took a snap.
Yeah.
And then I left because I was by myself, and I heard some people coming, so I just left it.
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble in there either.
No, right? And I was alone. So that's what's at the top floor. And in '88, on the top floor, I heard screams, but mental screams, like a lot of screams, like you know, like, and I panicked, you know.
Yeah. No, I can imagine that's probably one of the reasons Mario doesn't want to go. His nickname is the Madman, right? So if they found that out, they might keep him there.
Well, Mario and myself, we've gone to a lot of arguments over this. I mean, this is a topic that he does not want to touch. I do not know if he's watching the show, but I think he's pretty upset if he sees me doing a show like this. But we're doing a show because it has to be told, and I understand him, you know. And at this hospital, before I forget my train of thought, there was the Duplessis orphans.
Yeah.
And there was 200,000 kids that died here in the 1950s.
Yeah. Well, some people will argue that there's nothing going on at this hospital, but maybe I'll wait till the end of the slides. But I got some evidence from a clip from CBC where they had to compensate some people for stuff that was going on here. So there's definitely...
Yes.
Yeah, so there's something to it, that's for sure.
That's it.
The smaller building with the car out front, is that the same building, or...?
No, that's a different part of the building. That's where there's my friend Angelica. We went in, and that's where we went near, and there's like a mind control, like MK Ultra in
like
this
the CIA experiments that they talked about too.
Yeah, exactly. And she found evidence that there's also satanic ritual abuse in there at nighttime.
Holy.
You know, and that's the that's, I believe, the chapel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like a church that's on site or something, right?
It's a church in there, and in there was like that's where the abuse was at nighttime.
Wow.
I mean, we went there in the daytime. We opened the door, Angelica and myself, and we saw, and she goes, "Is this the church?" And she goes, "No, there's no church here. It's a long time ago." But it was fully functional, and we go, "There's no services." She goes, "No, there's none." And we closed the door. And she told me that she did research, and we were puzzled by this. And I said to myself, what in the world is this? And she told me that there's satanic ritual abuse at nighttime in these things, like, you know, like probably some sort of like maybe Pizzagate type stuff.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
It was
here's a picture of the glass, I guess, inside of that building, or...
Yeah, that's inside of another building over here, and I took this alone. When I had gone with Mario waited outside, and I went inside and I took these pictures here. And in the video, you see the security guard is downstairs on his break. As I see him go on his break, I go up and I took a picture of him. And then I'm just researching everything. Then when I see he's finished his break, he's about to come, and I come down. So we didn't interact, and he didn't capture me in that hospital.
So I guess what it is, like, parts of it are open to the public for visitors, and some aren't even open for visitors either.
Exactly, and the thing is, I've been promised access to inside of it, but I don't know if the person could actually do it. You know, I don't want to get this person in trouble because he has the keys. Go in and look at all of this, but it's kind of risky. And we don't know. We just don't know. Yeah, and that's the building that I saw from before. That's the building where level 4 to 10 you cannot get in. You can't. There's no elevator, and it's all locked.
Jeez. Okay, so I guess that was the end of the slides that you sent me.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe we'll get into some of the UFO slides a bit later. See what I had next on the agenda for it.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess we'll play the UFO video next, if you're up for watching that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this was a UFO that was filmed during a live stream out in front of this hospital that we've been talking about. So I think we'll still be able to hear us talk while the video is playing. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Their practices, and they have experimented upon people here in Montreal.
And also at, what do you call it?
Okay, there we are. You just saw the UFO clip. You see it right there.
Oh yeah.
Right there. The UFO. Right there.
Yeah, I actually helped edit some of this video, and I couldn't believe it when I was watching. It's like the coolest looking UFO footage in decades, really, right?
Yeah, and I contacted MUFON for this, and they freaking told me it was just an airplane with a banner.
Yeah, I'll bring up that investigation up onto the screen. I think I got it ready here. Yeah, there it is. No, it's kind of hard to believe that MUFON even did an investigation into this. Like, I was kind of surprised to hear that. Yeah? They took it that serious.
Yeah, they did. They told me. They told me, oh, you've got the biggest thing going on. This might even be in the UFO show. Like you know, they have the mutual UFO show. That's what they told me. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, fine. Then they told me, and he said, yeah, you've got something. It might be the worst it could be is a military craft. Like the most simplest thing. I said, okay, a military craft in an asylum, okay. But then they told me it's just an airplane.
Yeah, it's weird how the investigation went. Like at the beginning, I had some people telling me to watch the video and see if you could see the object move behind the posts. So that way it would clarify that it was actually something there and not just an artifact from the video. But when you watched it in slow motion, you could see it go behind the posts. So there was some proof right there that it wasn't just an artifact, that it was an actual physical object, right?
Yeah, exactly, and look, you could see the whole the MUFON report right here, all over here, like that was filmed by Angelica, and using her phone.
Yeah. Now I wish I had time to play the whole video, because I guess you guys recorded quite a long video out in front of the place, right?
Well, we recorded about maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess it wasn't super long, but yeah, still pretty long for the show.
Yeah. Well, actually, what we recorded with like that show, well, I think I don't remember now. We recorded maybe 5-6 minutes, but that one was like a 137 where we're talking and she's saying about mind control and everything, you know.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy how the parts that were the most wild talking during the video was right when the orb was there. Right? It was almost like it happened right at the exact time.
McCarran, yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's like in August 2016, I started researching this hospital, how to get in, ways not to get caught, ways to go around it. I had to use Google Maps before going.
Yeah.
And I remember when Mario said, okay, we're going to go do it, because he didn't want to do it. He said, we'll do it for your sake. I said, okay. He was calm and I was nervous. And I was hoping I would say to me, forget it, I don't want to do it. I was scared myself to do it. But then I said, okay, we'll do it. Like you know, like I really wanted to do it. When it came time to do it, I was chickening out. and then I was hoping he would change his mind, but he didn't. So and I had to go in there. I went in there alone.
Jeez.
The first time after like you know, and I went in there to the top floor alone. But he was outside. In September 4th, I was alone when I went.
Yeah. Now I was just checking out some of the text here from the investigation. It seems like it started off saying that it was a colored orb, but then they managed to match it to the approximate size of a plane. And then I guess they managed to get an interview with the pilot of a plane that was flying nearby and got him to watch the video that I edited too. It's like, I don't know, it almost seems ridiculous that they contacted the pilot and everything, huh?
Well, they were doing an investigation. Maybe they thought it was, I don't know, maybe they thought it was fraud or something, but...
Can you imagine the pilot's reaction to this? He's like, I've got a UFO investigation calling me to watch a video, and it's like, I can't believe he even answered the call.
and then he sees me talking about MK Ultra and seeing asylums and God knows what else I was talking about, you know, at the Tower Works with Angelica.
Yeah, it's an incredible case, even if it did turn out to be a plane that it got this far. It's like, a lot of people are really convinced that it was a UFO at one point. Man. Yeah, then they showed the pictures of similar planes, and I guess how when they pull a banner that it looks the same.
I know. What I'm thinking right here is that something is going on. It's like after all this research, this hospital, there's something going on, and somebody, one of my good friends that I currently work with, it's not Angelica, it's somebody else. Her name's Anne. Told me she speculated that for some reason why I'm so attracted to that hospital is maybe something happened that I was in there.
Wow.
But I never was in there. I mean, but something must have happened. I mean, and I've talked to my uncle about this. We have really regular discussions about this, and he told me like what I've told you, that there's murderers and psychopaths and sick people on the top floor. Now, me and Angelica, we could investigate this hospital, talk about asylums, and what happens? What happens? A UFO appears.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying it's an alien. I'm not saying it's a spaceship, but an unidentified flying object. And it wasn't even me that saw it. It was one of my friend Valerie from St. Louis, Missouri. She's the one who blew this whole thing up.
Yeah.
And she figured.
Like she watched the video, right? And then she pointed out that there was a UFO in it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, what in the world is this?
Yeah, and that wasn't actually the only UFO in the video too. There was an orb sighting as well, right? An orb and an object, and there was like a little thing following me, going like this in the video. You know, because yeah, I've got a clip of that too that I guess we'll watch next. But I figured I'd just show people what the banner and the plane photos look like, and I guess it kind of looks similar to what was in Robert's video. But to me, it almost seems a little suspicious still too, right?
It does.
Yeah, because it doesn't like. The plane was like almost like a sphere shaped, and it looked like Sputnik when you enhanced it, so I'm surprised it was a plane.
It's like, wow.
Yeah, I guess they have the flight path that they showed where the guy flew by the hospital, and they had the time marked out and everything, so maybe it is some type of plane, I guess. Maybe it's something to do with the cell phone and the live stream, how it can create artifacts, but I don't know, with that orb video, I guess we'll look at it next. It's like, this UFO wasn't the only thing that happened there. Alright, let's bring up the orb video.
Okay.
Yeah, I just threw together a little clip so that we could watch what the orb looked like also. I'll just get it loaded here. Sorry, I'm using the VLC media player. One of these days I'm going to buy the full version of this broadcasting software, and then I'll be able to have more videos set ready to go.
Taken by the government and tortured.
Yeah, maybe I'll play it again. Seems like it's not going from the beginning. Ah, here we go.
Okay. Right there. Okay.
Yeah, I put a little bit of a title to the video, just added a little bit of music to it. Yeah, I'll try to put the cursor on where the object is. Yeah, it almost looks like it could be a bug at first, but it goes right through you at some point. So it's like, if it was a bug, how would it go through you?
Exactly. It's like, what the hell is that?
Maybe it's like, I was thinking almost like a spirit of one of the people that were in the hospital that maybe died. I don't know. I guess that's speculation, but yeah, here's it in slow motion too.
Yeah, like wow. Yeah, right there. Like when you see that, it's like, what the heck is that? You know?
Yeah, I guess MUFON never did an investigation to that part, but it wasn't in the video before, right?
Told me. They told me.
Wow.
They told me. They told me it was some kind of like reflection of the sun, and they gave me some kind of like.
Oh, they did look at that part too, huh?
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm no expert. I mean, it's not even like, how can I say it? It's not even. When I went there, because for a year we studied, Mario and myself, we studied UFOs, aliens, and all of that, and I had enough of that, and I just started studying MK Ultra, psychiatric illnesses, because I've got a lot of friends that have all kinds of illnesses and everything, and then it all tied in with MK Ultra.
Yeah, so what I did is I got the website ready for the best evidence that something really is going on at this hospital, even if those UFOs turned out to be easily explainable. But yeah, it says here that the federal government quietly compensated the daughter of a brainwashing experiment victim. And it was the CIA funded the experiments. And this isn't some wacko website, this is the cbc.ca that was covering this story.
And I was at the Allen Memorial Hospital, I believe.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it says Allen Memorial. I'll enhance Zoom here so people can see it better.
Yeah. And Allen Memorial was connected to Saint-Jean-de-Dieu Hospital, which is now known as Louis Lafontaine, and now they have a new name called Université de Santé Montréal Mental or something. But
so it is the same hospital then, or?
No, Allen Memorial was connected to that hospital that I go to.
Oh, okay.
That I went, but it went on to 3 different names. Now it's a different name, but it's commonly known as Louis Lafontaine.
Jeez. Yeah, and it says in the article here that she was kept in a chemically induced sleep for weeks and subject to rounds of electroshocks, experimental drugs, and tape-recorded messages that played non-stop. Yeah, that'd be a horrible thing to go through. I can't believe that sort of stuff is really going on there. It's like this is the evidence right here that something fishy is really happening there.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's beyond mind control. I mean.
Oh, here it is too. It's like one of the radio show hosts that does a show out of Hamilton called the X Zone. It's like he talked about on the show once that his mother was a victim of LSD experiments at hospitals in Montreal.
Well, my friend Anne Diamond, she's a researcher and author, and she was at the Allen Memorial.
Jeez. No, it's really weird because part of the ancient connections I'm going to get to shortly in the show is there was a bunch of ancient drugs that were sort of similar to these, like LSDs and stuff, that had psychoactive effects on the patients and were able to brainwash them. But I don't think LSD was really good for brainwashing because they ended up using it for snipers in the military. I don't know if you heard about that or not.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
So what they did is they gave snipers high doses of LSD and it enhanced their aim and accuracy by like 90%. And it was like way better than any of their other troops could do. So they were basically using it to create super soldiers. Yeah, and there was a famous baseball player who pitched a perfect game on LSD too, and then it came out later in the story that he was actually wasted the whole time, and he didn't know he had to play baseball that day, but he went in to play anyways, and apparently the drugs gave him the ability to pitch perfectly also. Yeah, if anyone wants to look that one up, just type in MLB baseball on the perfect game on LSD. I think the pitcher's name was, I should have recorded it, I forget. It was one of the older day pitchers before I was watching baseball.
Are you a baseball fan?
I try to watch the Blue Jays a little bit, but this year was kind of a tough season to watch.
I'm just a hockey fan, you know. I'm not and I'm sure you're a Leafs fan. Yeah, that's the Allen Memorial up there.
Oh, here, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah,
And
there it
I'm
says.
supposed, and I'm supposed, we're supposed to go up there. Well, now it's getting too cold to go there. Maybe next spring. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it'll bring. But I mean, I'm just focusing on one hospital. I mean, if I'm to focus on another hospital and bringing the MK Ultra, you know.
Yeah, it seems like it's happening at more than one hospital in Montreal.
Oh yeah. No. But like, there's like, if you research the Duplessis orphan, you see that it's between 4 various hospitals,
Wow.
4 or 5 different hospitals, that it's happening. You know.
Jeez. All right, so I guess we covered a lot of the stuff that I had to talk about. We watched the orb videos. All right, so I guess I'll get on to the ancient stuff connection if you're interested in seeing what I found on that.
Well, yeah. Well, of course. If it, does it include asylums and psychiatric illnesses?
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's like at these Montreal hospitals, we have evidence that they've been using LSD, but there was another drug from the ancient times in South America. Like they used to, you know how they had, what is it, sacrifice victims, and they had to convince them to sacrifice themselves? Well, this is one of the drugs that the ancients used, and I'm wondering if maybe it's not like isolated to that any longer, but the government or some covert agencies like the CIA just started to use these ancient drugs as well. And it's like, remember that really crazy drug craze that was on the news for a while? What did they call it? Bath salts or something?
Bath salts, yeah, that used to drive me insane.
Yeah, so it's like a drug similar to that, except they call it devil's breath. And it's known as the world's scariest drug. And what it can do is block free will, wipe all your memory, and even kill people too.
Kill people, wow, yeah, it's you know, that could be also, and also, between psychiatric hospitals, there's also a connection, which I forgot to say, folks, with demonic possession.
Wow.
Yes, demonic possession. I mean, take out MK Ultra and everything. When I have to research like demonic possession, demonic people, possessed people, the best place to find them is in an insane asylum, a psychiatric hospital, a mental hospital, a mental ward, whatever you want to call it, whatever word, but that would be it.
Yeah. Now, the scariest thing about this drug here in South America is that it's so powerful. It's like the crazy part is it grows on every street corner, so it's like almost anyone can get their hands on it. You don't have to go deep into the jungle or anything. And I guess it's relatively easy to prepare. And some of the stuff that it's being used for is just crazy. It's like, you know how people talk about zombies and make fun of it, saying that zombies can never be real? But when people take this drug or are exposed to it, it actually turns them into real-life zombies.
And it's like, wow, I'm like, you know, I mean, have you seen videos on this? They take it, they go, they run, they crash, like they put the whole bodies into a car, they crash, and then they come out.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And then this drug is apparently so powerful that they make it into a powder form, and just blowing a little bit in the air so that someone breathes it in is enough to take them over. And then some of the worst crimes happen because apparently it's so strong at controlling your memories and your actions that it makes you do anything. So it's like someone gives you this drug and then they tell you to go into your bank and empty all their money. The person who's under the influence will just walk right into the bank and empty out their accounts with no struggle. It turns them into like a patsy or a zombie that'll do anything that they tell you. So there's rapes that have gone on, bank account thefts, even giving up organs willingly. So this is the drug, I think, that was used in ancient times when they had to get people to do sacrifices, right?
Exactly, like one show I've never done was organ harvesting, you know, and it's we never got around to doing a show like that, you know. I mean that's on the level of Pizzagate, you know. That's like, whoa.
It's very controversial, to say the least. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, and it's weird too. The victims that have had this drug used against them will come like sober up a few days later and come back to their apartment and ask the security guard, like, what happened to all the stuff that was in my apartment? And guess what the security guard will tell them? That you came into the building and you were perfectly fine and you helped this guy unload all your stuff into his truck. So it's like they don't even remember that they robbed their own apartment, right?
It's like, oh my God, how the heck did that happen? You know, it's like, whoa. I mean,
So can you imagine if like the experiments at the Montreal hospitals weren't just using LSD, but they started getting their hands on these drugs to use on people? Like it sounds like a lot more scary and powerful than what you'd find in just regular LSD. Like I don't think anyone on LSD was going to do that. That's for sure.
No, no. I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff going on at these hospitals, these facilities that we still don't know everything.
Yeah.
We still don't know everything what goes on in these places, and
well, there's
there's
a documentary or a couple of them out there on the internet. If anyone wants to find out more about this, just type in Devil's Breath, and I think Vice, like the popular TV station, they also did a documentary on it. And it's weird too that some of them talk about saying that the drug is just a myth and it's not really that powerful, but when you go down to South America and you interview people with it, there's no one saying that it's a myth. It's like everyone there believes how powerful it is. It's like, what did they say? Something like 50,000 crimes a year are happening due to this drug. Especially in bars, like you don't even have to spike someone's drink. You can just blow a bit of dust in their face.
Exactly. Can you imagine having this kind of drug that you just blow it and then they do whatever you want? I mean, I'm glad it's not here in Canada. I hope not. Let's not give them any ideas, you know?
Yeah. No, the crazy part when you think about it too is all these like crazy shootings and false flag events people are saying, and it's like, can you imagine if some of the people that were involved in these had this drug experimented on them and then they were told to commit these horrible shootings? It's like, I sure hope that that's not what's happening, and maybe the government should be testing the bodies for this drug to see if they can trace it back to this.
I'm telling you, all these false flags, there's something going on. It's some kind of mind control. I'm not saying that they're taken and put in a hospital and facility, but what I'm saying is that they definitely are under some kind of influence, some kind of drug, some kind of mind control, some kind of trigger word. That is for sure beyond, because there's too much false flags and people shooting and people committing these atrocities. That is without a shadow of a doubt. That's what's happening. Yeah. That is what's happening, and that's what I've been investigating for like the whole summer. Just one thing. Usually I do show and this and that, but we decided not to do shows, and I just focused on that. And it's like I haven't even scratched the surface of it, you know, like when you think of it. I mean, I don't like deal with this all the time. I mean, in fact, the research I've done, it's like a couple of weeks ago. I mean, if I had to do this all the time, I'd probably end up mad myself, you know?
No, I'm glad you guys took a break there, because I've done a radio show even just for 6 months now, and preparing show notes every week is like, it's exhausting. You almost don't have time to work a regular job at the same time.
No, because like I said, Mary and myself, we have to decide a show, contact the guest, can he come, get it that he could contact, promote the show, record the show. Then after recording the show, we have to promote it. Like we have to get on the next show, and then it's like we did a cycle of like nonstop for like 6 years or 5 years, you know, and it kind of like seriously burned us out, you know. So it's like I don't know. I mean, the last show we did was on the Seven Feasts or whatever it was called, and that was it, you know. And I just started doing. I just did research for myself, not even to come on this show, to come on a no show, just for myself, you know. And then you told me, come on the show, let's talk about it, and I'm like, I don't know. And then it's okay, fine, might as well talk about it all, you know, so people know what I've been up to for the past summer and the UFO MUFON. But I think there's a connection between UFO, because I've heard that MUFON has been infiltrated.
Yeah, too. So it's like, there's definitely some weird things going on at MUFON, to say the least, right? Yeah. No, I'm really glad you did this investigation, because who knew that going to this mental hospital might have been able to get to the bottom of what's been going on with all these shootings around the world. Like, we're not saying that that's what it is, or that the government or regular government is in charge of this, but there's definitely potential for something going on here that should be investigated, I think. And I really thank you for getting to the bottom of at least some of it.
Well, the thing is, I've never really gotten to the bottom of how deep I want to go into it, you know. I mean, I don't even know if I want to go in deeper, you know. I mean,
no, I'd be careful that you don't get in trouble going into trespassing areas or whatever, right? Just
I've done that already.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I'm a master of disguises. I'm not tooting my horn here, but I know how to get in places and out. But even though now I'm saying it and probably put a target on my face here, you know. But one thing I want to say is that Mario is not wanting to do any of this stuff on mental hospitals and stuff like this. I don't blame him because it's not something that everyone wants to do. It's kind of scary, you know. But
no, any of the horror related shows, I usually try to stay clear of too. I was a little bit scared to do this one, to be honest, but I figured it was so like crucial of what's going on in the world today that we really should talk about it.
It's like Mario's uneasy with it. I wouldn't say scared, just uneasy. Does not like it, and you're scared. So imagine how I felt on Labor Day, September 4th. I go out with my friends. They weren't feeling well. So they went home, and I said to myself, "Where am I gonna go now? What should I do? Where do I go?" Boom! I go to the asylum by myself. And as I'm going to the 10th floor, I took pictures, whatever, and then I heard a noise. I went down the flight of stairs so fast. I was drenched in sweat, but the adrenaline, like me jumping off a cliff or something. It's like I want to go back. It's dangerous, but you want to do it. It's the only thing I don't understand. It maybe like my friend Anne says. Maybe she says maybe I've been in that hospital. Maybe I've been controlled there. Who knows? But I've always been attracted to it since I was 8 years old. So that's the mystery, because I've been asked, why are you interested in that hospital? Only that place. Other hospitals like Allen Memorial, the Douglas Hospital, I go there, okay, but only that hospital. Someone says you want to go there, okay, we'll go there, you know?
Yeah.
But
no, I was going to say, but before we wrap the show up too, like if you guys want to do the occasional episode on my show too, you and Mario are always welcome. I'm trying to get the technical difficulties worked out here, but I think the studio isn't too bad when it works, at least.
yeah, but can you imagine getting Mario and myself on at the same time? I don't know.
Yeah, it might be a little bit sketchy with the computer, just if it can handle it. Yeah.
What I probably have to do is have a plus button here, and maybe I'd have to add participant or something to the show, you know. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't know if he wants to do shows or what he wants to do right now.
Yeah, I figured I'd just offer in case you guys needed to do the occasional show on something big that comes up.
Yeah,
I definitely miss M&R TV, but I'm not trying to force you guys to come back and do it again or anything. It is my favorite show.
Thanks, man. I mean, yeah, it's a pleasure coming on the show, you know. But like I said, Mario would not do this show because he's uneasy with institutions and stuff like this, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess is there anything else that you wanted to add before the show wraps up, or?
It's gonna be on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I'll make sure to send the link, and then I might do an edited version too, where I try to take the intro and splice it.
Yeah. You have to do like what usually we do when everything messes up as usual. That's another reason why we don't want to do shows, because it's always messing up and
I'm glad we got it to work
getting gray hair because of that. Pardon?
No, I'm glad we got it to work. It's like I almost gave up at the beginning of the show there. It seemed like it was a lost cause, right?
No, I said to myself, no, we can't give up. We're not going to give up, folks, because I'm used to this. We're used to this routine where the show doesn't work, and sometimes we don't hear the guest, you know, like the guest is on and Meryl will signal me, well, we can't hear you. And then I'm like, uh-oh, the guest, where am I going to sit to the guest? Like when unprofessional, and that causes like kind of stress, you know. So that's why usually Wednesday nights, instead of doing shows, I'm just relaxing and just doing research on.
Yeah, I guess I put up the conspiracy website here in case anyone wants to check it out. It's called the Conspiracy Talk, and it's got M&R TV links on there. It's one of the fastest growing websites, I think, for conspiracy, isn't it? Still over 6,000 members. Wow.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't even go. To be honest, we add members, but I don't even go in it to make comments. I haven't been really researching conspiracies right now because I'm so upset. I am so upset with what MUFON told me that it's not a UFO and all of that I said to myself, what the heck? And another thing that upset Mario and myself is September 23rd. We heard all kinds of prophecies, all kinds of stuff that's going to happen. Nothing happened. So we look like liars here. We look like liars or wackos or whatever, so we said forget it, you know. So that's why we took a step back, you know. And luckily we didn't do a show on September 23rd, because if we had done it and said it may happen, it may not happen, and nothing would have happened, we would have still looked like we're predicting something, even though when we said we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
well, there was some really big things that happened in my research around that time period. It's like my trip up north, we managed to possibly have solved Atlantis and a bunch of other mysteries from the Bible. I'm going to do a show on that soon coming up, but I don't know, maybe it was just it didn't get covered in the mainstream of everything that happened around that time period. But I think maybe something really did. It's like we're almost going through that age now where things are changing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like some kind of new age or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But
Alright, so I guess I'll wrap up the show, and thanks again for coming on, and sorry about all those technical difficulties at the beginning there.
It's no problem, man. It was a pleasure being on your show and getting this information out. So
yeah, I'll try to get you the link as soon as possible.
No problem. So folks, continue watching the Magi Show and MNR TV. Well, we don't know what will happen. Only God knows what will happen, and that's it. So thank you for having me on your show, and God bless you, and thank you.
Thanks, God bless you too. Take care, Robert.
You too. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright everyone, thanks for watching the show. I guess I'll wrap it up, and I got another guest coming up on Sunday, and I'll post some more information about that on my website. You can just check out Leland Judson on Facebook. Alright, and thanks for everyone who participated in the chat too. Really appreciate that, and take care. Have a good night. The Magi Show was brought to you by the Milky Way. I fucking hate this galaxy.